Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Loren LoRosa here as well. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
#1 record. The record is flying on the charts. We play it, every hour on the hour? Damn near.
It's one of my wife's favorite records right now.
Folded, ladies and gentlemen. Kehlani, welcome.
Hey guys.
How are you, Kehlani?
I'm really good. How are you?
I am blessed, black, and highly favored. How's your energy?
It's good. Can I tell you guys something before we start?
Yeah, of course.
It's very important that during this era of my life, I let everyone know that my name is pronounced Kehlani.
Kehlani.
Who said otherwise?
You guys say
said
Kehlani.
Kehlani.
I always say Kehlani.
You're a
No, you
goddamn
just
liar.
said Kehlani.
You the one that said Kehlani.
Good morning, Kehlani.
Good
morning, Kehlani.
morning. I'm really good. How are you guys?
This might be like a stupid question, but like, why right now? Why haven't you been correcting people?
You know what? I feel like I have here and there.
Okay.
But then like it just blows under. Like nobody cares. Everybody just says how they want to say. It's not that big of a deal. I have family members who say Kehlani.
Got you. Okay.
But, I'm 30 now. I'm feeling a little like, let's just get, it's been 10 years. You guys have been saying my name wrong for 10 years. Like,
That's interesting. We all like to create safe spaces for ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't think you can create a safe space of people calling you out your wrong name. Because I think if I was doing an interview and somebody said Kehlani, and the whole interview probably be thinking, I should have corrected him.
But no one wants to be that person that's like sours the moment. It's like, by the way, scratch that.
Yeah.
Now you should.
Yeah.
That's your name.
Well, here we are. Now you guys know.
That's
yes,
right.
Kehlani.
How does it feel? Folded #1. How is that feeling?
It feels really good. It's been a long time coming. I've been getting told for the last 8 years of my life, you're always one song away, you're one song away, you're one song away. We see it for you. And so to have the song and everything be changing in this way, it's really nice.
Did you know that was the record when y'all did it? Did you know that was going to be it?
No, it was the most accidental thing in the world. Like even making it was accidental.
Tell us.
It came about accidentally. I'm in LA. I get a call to come finish this feature, but the guy's like, I'm about to go on this massive tour. Like, but so you have to come finish it with me in person. Bring the producers. Come to Miami. Bring the producers. We go to Miami, and for 2 days we just can't figure out this song that we're supposed to finish. And we didn't want to waste the time. So we went to a studio house with Don Mills, who actually plays the guitar on the song. And Dre Harris came, and the first beat he played was the folded beat from his boy DK the Punisher. And I bring it in the other room, and I just keep singing this hook, and everybody's like, that's really cool. Like, let's build on it. And we stayed there for a week, but every single day after, we made that song, it'd be the one song from the camp that we just kept replaying. And I hit my label, and I was like, I don't know, like, I know you guys are looking for, what is it? It's like, is it June or July at this time? I'm not sure. I know you guys are looking for like the club single, the banger. This is not that. Like, this isn't really song of the summer. But this feels like an introduction to like where I'm at mentally, musically, my, maturation in my sonic journey. And let me just tease it. Like, let me put it out. You guys don't have to, don't freak out, but it feels good. And it just kind of like took its own life. And there we are.
Takes a lot of emotional intelligence to fold a man's clothes and tell him come get him instead of just throwing them all over the lawn.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not folding a man's clothes.
You're perfect.
Anyone's clothes, yeah. But I think it's a very nuanced perspective, and I'm watching a lot of people be on this, really extreme side of it. Either like, Kehlani's way better than me. Your clothes would be in a trash can or a bleach store.
Set on fire.
I'm not taking time for that.
Right. Or they're like, yeah, I'm folding instantly. I'm folding the clothes and that's it. Who cares if they did wrong? In the song, I verbatim say, like, I probably should have asked for space, but I kind of told you to walk away, which means I probably jumped the gun and I overreacted. And I need to express to you that you did hurt me, but also maybe come over so we can talk about it. So it's more of like a nuanced, mature conversation existing that's kind of like both. You did hurt me, but we also need to speak. And I also might have not, handled this the right way. And let's just get in the same place and get in each other's face and come talk about it. I'm going to use your clothes as bait.
I like that. It's like
accountability.
go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I said you're choosing vulnerability over wearing emotional armor.
Yeah, exactly.
So what shifted in your real life that allowed that change?
I think something happens when you're turning 30. I mean, astrologically, something major happens. You go through a Saturn return, and outside of that, I've been through a lot. And the last couple of years, I've really spent, making the changes I needed to make. I know I saw you guys last time. We talked about mental health and all those. It's been a year since then. I think when I came to you guys last time, I was a week into being diagnosed. I had just started medication. I'm now a year into like that journey, very settled in, very in my routine, very, very healthy, and being able to assess myself and assess my situations and, you know, just be on top of my stuff. Honestly, that allowed me to be able to come to a place to write from the perspective I'm able to write from now.
Were you ever on the other side, meaning were you ever the person to throw the clothes in the bag and then throw the clothes out the window?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, of course.
So it was a growth. It was a growth evolution.
Yeah, I've been like a 25-year-old girl before. Yeah, for sure.
What has your journey been like since you said last time they saw you, it was like first week of you?
Yeah.
You know, what has your personal journey been like, you know, using your medicines now and kind of understanding, you know, your body and your mental? What has that up and down or consistency been like, and how's it been different for you?
Yeah, I mean, bipolar disorder is a really layered thing that also, because it's so stigmatized in the world and there's so many jokes about it that I think people get really confused. You know, they think, okay, I woke up with an attitude and then later on I felt better. Then I had an attitude again, so I'm bipolar. It's a way bigger, deeper thing than that. Yeah. And I think medicine and my therapy journey gave me the opportunity to have thought applied to my mood and thought applied to situations when in other ways I wouldn't have had the thought. I would have just felt it and it would have just left, and next thing you know there's episodical things happening and next thing you know I'm just gone with the wind. But this, I wouldn't say it stops it completely, but it really allows you to have a process. And I think that that's been the biggest difference is I have so much option for process now. And I can go through these things and take them slowly and think about them and like have a second where I'm like, you know, I have the tools now. I have a tool belt of things I can apply. Like, do I go this way? Do I take a walk? Do I this is not the reaction that I want to. This is not the version of myself that I want to show up in this situation. So things like that, I think.
I always say it's difficult being vulnerable, right? For an artist, how difficult is that? Because you're showing a side of yourself that I'm sure you think that maybe people will laugh. But then on the other side, I'm sure it's a side that says there's so many people dealing with it. And I love the fact artists are doing more. We've seen it with Gucci, the same thing. So when did you realize I could be that vulnerable? And was it a hard line to draw to be like, do I want to be this vulnerable? Do I want to share this experience?
I think I've always been messily vulnerable. But I grew up in front of the world. You know, everybody's been seeing me do interviews like this since I was 19 years old. And I think when you're viewing it on the outside, you kind of timestamp people. Like artists get timestamped in whatever version of themselves stuck out to the fan. So there's people who still view me as something I went through when I was 24. And like that's who they'll see me as forever. And when you're 24 at that time, you're also confidently speaking in these interviews because you're like, this is who I am right now and I get it. Then 10 years later, you're like, oh my God.
I don't know who that person was.
I mean, it hasn't been 10 years for me, but I'm 30 now and I'm looking back at things I said when I was 24, 25, even 27. And I'm like, yikes. Even a year ago, I'm like, okay, like, growth. I'm different now.
That's good though. And you have the self-awareness to
that's how it's supposed to go. Yeah.
You know, this has to feel good to you too, the success of Folded, because vocally you were one of the first artists I saw publicly showing support for Palestine. And I mean, you spoke out when a lot of people weren't. I know you lost shows because of it. You were barred from things. How does it feel having this success and you have it for being on the right side of history?
Yeah, I think it shows that the things that we're afraid of are more, I don't know what the word is, not handleable. That's not a word, but like.
You know what you mean.
Like we can, if we have the courage to do things and then we see people have success after doing the things that we deem scary, we might be more courageous to do them. And I think it's important that other artists see that I've been able to thrive after all those things happen. I mean, there's still things that I will never be allowed to do or things that are not getting picked up or...
Even now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Probably forever. I don't think people realize how deep it goes. I didn't even at the time realize how deep it goes. Also, to be really frank, I was incredibly manic. So a lot of the routes that I went, the yelling and the, you F all you guys if you guys don't understand and da-da-da. And you know what, half my team could go if y'all don't speak. Just these different routes versus like, hey, let me calm down and be strategic about this because... in every single movement, in every single political movement across the board, there's more strategy involved in the way that you communicate it, the way that you choose to organize, the things that you engage with. And at the time, I didn't really have those resources to think in that way. So yeah, there's still things that I'm experiencing that I probably will experience for a really long time. But I think this other side of it is speaking to the fact that when there's great music, there's great music. And when people love the music and they love the art, then you can't really be taken out in that way.
And I'm a stern believer that you should always move off strategy over emotion, but you can understand the emotion when you're watching kids being
it's so
slaughtered.
understandable.
Right.
I have so much grace for how I handled it because I was really just passionate and upset. I was angry. We should have all been angry. It was really terrible to watch and treacherous to feel some kind of like a part of because like our country is such a big part of it. But I definitely wish that I was able to calm myself to be smarter about the way that I went about it for my own sake and for being a leader in front of a camera for other people.
And how do you feel when other artists don't speak about it when they have the opportunity? Do you look? How does that feel to you? Because you jumped out the window and you got banned from things. And
I think it's really easy to say, like, I want to be very clear with my words. Like, it is really easy to say that I hate them for it or I really blame them. But after experiencing everything I went through, which went way deeper than just being banned from things, it, got into my safety, my family dynamics, my friendships. I had to move. It put me into really bad paranoia every time I left the house of was everybody out to get me and did I need security to sit in front of my house and was anybody plotting on me, and the death threats I got at my shows, like highly organized, typed out, detailed death threats. Wow. It's easy to say like that shouldn't matter because we should all be, up in arms. And part of me is like, yeah, we should. But also I wish it wasn't so sinister, like the lashings behind the scene. I wish it wasn't so sinister. And I wish it wasn't something to be afraid of. I think if we all spoke in numbers and there was so many of us, it wouldn't be so easy to just come after one person. I think when you leave it to be one or two people, it's easy to just get them out of here. Yeah, we've seen it historically. But if it's a lot of people, who can they get? There's a bunch of us.
Did it make you speak out even more? Because you did it the red carpet on the AMAs. You voiced support for Palestine.
Yeah.
So when you were getting backlash behind the scenes, you were like, nah, I'm going to go out there even more.
I was like, I'm already here. Like, I'm already experiencing everything I'm experiencing, and it hasn't stopped. Like, it hasn't stopped. Like, it's still, ceasefire and all, still hasn't stopped. And even if the genocide itself does stop, there's a much larger thing at hand there, which is, ending the apartheid. So I don't know. I don't think it was ever like an intentional, I'm going to choose to speak. I was asked a question on the carpet and I answered it, and my stance remains the same. So
yeah, it's just interesting that you would still be getting backlash because even the UN chief said there are strong reasons to believe that war crimes have been committed.
Yeah, but we're dealing with a very delusional other side. It's a very delusional side where you've shown videos and you've shown facts and they've seen things and the response is literally, that's not even real. Like, y'all made this up. Like you kind of at some point have to be like, okay, there's a game here and I'm not going to play this game with you guys because you know what you're doing. I'm not going to play it. So.
Now you also,
I was mentioning ICE, right? The comment I saw the comments about you speaking out on ICE and them going into schools and things of that nature. I know you're a mom, as well, but like, have you experienced any similar pushback from the other side or wherever because of those comments?
No. Yeah. Zionism is a much larger, deeper, darker, sinister thing than good old regular American racism, even though they're very intertwined and they walk hand in hand with each other a little bit. But yeah, no, I haven't experienced any pushback from that. I think we're all more comfortable talking about that in general than, anything else. So
I was going to ask you, we also seen you speak out about AI in the industry.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it is, I agree with you. Yeah. Like, I think it's crazy for an artist. We had Tank and Jay Valentine up here. And they were talking about, they were talking about they think it's a good thing, and that artists and the industry needs to adapt to it. But I think it kind of hurts the fact of the creativity.
But they did say it's not better than Kehlani.
Okay, they say that.
Amen.
They say. So, what's your thoughts on it?
I think there's so many layers to it. One, we're gonna put out there that it's not good for the environment. It's affecting communities everywhere, but especially disparaged Black communities in America. It's messing with the water, it's messing with the air. Like, it's going to make people sick in the long run. We move on from that and get into all these aspects of music that are and jobs. Let's forget music, right? I'm speaking to music because I'm being asked about music, but I'm not. I think there's a much larger thing of like all these little jobs that people are employed to do that is keeping their families going, that is literally feeding everyone around them are just gone. And we don't realize we're training these systems to do those things. There's things that I understand. I think I was told about how it is working for surgeries, like these robots are helping in surgery
more
rooms.
Precision, they're saying, more precise. They can do
more precise surgeries. And then there's, like the disabled community and being able to get things done in that way. And I've experienced producers and writers be stuck on something and use it to help, or like finish something and then get it replayed or get it remade. And like, those aren't exactly things that I'm super mad about. Like, I'm not going to bark at them the same way, but overall as a whole.
But a fake person, a fake artist, a fake singer.
It's just unfortunate because I think music is such a God-given thing. It's the highest gift, God gave to earth. It's used in every single religion across the board to connect with God. It's a very powerful thing. And for it to be generated in that way, and also be what it's using to be generated is a combination of real people's stories and real people's voices and real people's feelings and emotion, and for all that to happen even deeper than, it's going to take our jobs, because there's this sensationalized sentence of mine that's like, why do I have to compete with a computer? But it's not about competing. It's more like, this is a disruption of something that God gave us. You know what I mean? And that feels wrong to me. Like, music is it comes from here, it's given here, and to have that generated through a computer just feels like it just feels wrong.
I like this argument, Kehlani. I like this because I feel the same way. It is a download from God. You can't download it from a computer, but now they have Jesus AI. Yeah. And you can log on and have meaningful conversations with Jesus.
Send Jesus a message, and then they'll send you back a biblical verse.
Yeah, it
sounds crazy.
I think it's gonna go so far. I don't think people are thinking about the negative implications, like being able to be framed for things, being able to have images created of your children that are inappropriate, that lives on people's computers, and they can do whatever they want to it. When you wake up one day and somebody has a sex tape of you that never happened.
Yeah.
If they can make...
That's happening now.
It is? That's what, have you heard about the people getting the phone calls?
Oh, yeah, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call you and you hear your kids or somebody
screaming, I need X amount of money because my kid got kid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's just cute and fun and games now. And you want to make videos of Malcolm X eating a seafood boil with Martin Luther King and and Michael Jackson and Prince having an argument about whose funeral was more lit. Like, I've seen them all. It's but there comes a point when you have to realize that where there's always light and fun, there's always going to be the extreme of that existing somewhere that we can't access it. And I also think something is real sinister about the White House using so much AI.
Oh, this election year is going to be crazy.
It's going to be nuts. How are they going to be able to say anything was real or false?
What do you say to the people? Because I know one of the conversations that you were having was specifically about the $3 million deal, the reported $3 million deal that Zanaya, the AI,
the thing.
I don't even know how to reference
the compute.
Yeah, the artist Zanaya Monet got, right? There are people that'll say all of that is true, but there's good and bad with everything. But on the other hand, you have this black woman who is using her poetry to write lyrics that now is $3 million wealthier and able to do for her family and stuff like that.
I mean, I said even in the times I've spoken about her, I'm not mad at her ability to have done that for herself. I think it's dishonest the way we're speaking about it because I think it's a very interesting thing to be responding to particular comments and saying certain things, but not telling the truth. Tell the truth. You wrote a couple lines, you said a couple words, then you framed, I might want it to sound like this and go like this and take from this and make it sound like this and make it appeal in this way and make me look like this and da-da-da. And it did all of that. You're doing 15% of the job. Let's just be honest about what the 15% of the job is. If you write poetry, I would love to write with a poet. I've written with poets before. They come in, we write together, I turn their words into a song, I use my songwriter brain to apply to their poetry brain, and we make a really beautiful product. But I'm watching her answer these questions, and I'm watching the lies accumulate and like tick together in her head to try to figure out what to say. And I'm like, we could just tell the truth and say what the tool is being used for. And then maybe it can have its separate charts, or it can have, because you're right, there is no stopping it. I could get, shit for being said it should have its own charts, but at this point, something has to be done.
AI separate chart with AI artists, yes.
Let them duke it out.
That's what iHeart had created something called Guaranteed Human.
I saw that.
So that at least they're, we're going to be human, like the personalities and music, but if one day they do decide to play AI music, it'll still, you'll know this is AI music.
Yeah. So, it's less about, I want everybody to feed their families and be successful at the end of the day. That's my wish. If I had one wish in the world, it would be for everybody to have their needs met. So I'm never mad at that.
I like what you said, though, because I was going to ask you, what does authentic music have that AI-generated music could never have? God, word up.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
That's it. I don't play with things like that. You know, it's such a deep thing, and I feel like us being able to. I watch the AI artists even talk about God. It is insane. The AI gospel, that is insane. I'm looking in Zanaya Monet's. Yeah, I'm looking in Zanaya Monet's comments, and they're saying, "Sis, you're anointed."
No.
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, I'm going to go look at the comments right now, but I will say when I first heard the song, when everybody was up in arms, I hadn't listened to the music, and I went and listened, and I was like, oh, this is actually like, it's good music.
Because you know what it's doing, though? It's analyzing the community that she's trying to appeal to, which means it's studying Black women, saying what do Black women want to hear, what perspectives, what type of voices, what kind of stories, what kind of emotions, and then accumulating all of that and going, I'm about to give you a package deal of exactly what you want, even down to what I look like.
So it's an artificial anointing. Can it be artificial anointing?
Artificial anointing. I don't know if that goes in the same sentence. But you know, hey.
So are you against the Chat GPT stuff as well?
I'm against people putting it in place of very human things. Look, we are entering.
It makes life easier for a lot of people.
It does,
and
that's the argument. It does,
because kids go to school, you could type it in page. I have to do a report on this. Type it in ChatGPT. You get a 10-page report. Does that make that kid smarter? But then you have the argument of like people who can't afford English classes that moved here and need English classes is teaching them English. Like there's always gonna be this thing that's like there are things that it is good for and there are things that it is bad for outside of what it's doing to the environment. But we become gluttonous with it, and it's not regulated, guys. That's really the problem, is that it's not regulated. Did you not see the moments where people were telling their ChatGPT to cancel itself, and then it hopped servers to avoid getting deleted?
Like iRobot?
Yes, it hopped. I promise you can look this up right now. It jumped servers because it didn't want to get, if it can observe all of our emotions, why couldn't it be able to think of something as sinister as we could think of and not want to get canceled or not want to get deleted or not want to be gone or want to, it's studying us 24/7.
Yeah, there's something, I mean, I totally agree with you with the God thing, because there's something to being a spiritual being, living a human existence, right? Like we're supposed to make mistakes. We're supposed to try to figure things out, like us, like you know, through prayer and meditation and just
and
work.
Therapy,
yes.
Community.
Yes, community.
Being a community member is really important. Talking to people, having other people talk to you back, sharing experience, messing up together, being held accountable, being called in, growing, getting applause from other humans, getting love from other humans. If we're all just going to be alone getting all those things from a robot, like we're going to stunt ourselves as a world.
As a species, I agree.
Then what happens to love and what happens to art and what happens to music? I've been having this conversation for weeks. Like, that paired with how the internet's obsessed with destroying each other and calling and completely ruining people's lives and doing all these kind of things. We're entering a very individualistic, let's kill community for people kind of world. Like we're isolating everyone from every side, technology and each other. It's becoming this huge isolation party, and it's really sad.
How does that make you as a mom now? Because you have a daughter. So how are you raising your child in this type of world that you just named? You know what I mean? Because these other kids, when they go to these colleges and schools, they're going to be using ChatGPT. These other kids are going to be using things that necessarily you don't agree with. So how do you raise that daughter in this crazy world?
With information, I think I give her all the information possible. I don't lie to my kid. I don't, obviously you don't just outright tell her terrible things, but like you give her all the information so she knows what's out there. And I tell her why I don't agree with this, why I think this is bad, why, I'm not going to say no to this, but I'm going to give you another option and explain why that option is probably the better option to do and let her decide. Ultimately, I can't protect her from what she learns at school and what her friends share and things like that. But at home, we're very human focused, and I'm very communal. Like she has a big extended family. She has a million aunties and uncles and cousins, and she lives I have community and people around me kind of life. She's not sitting in the corner on her iPad alone all day. That's just not her life.
Does she see how does she feel about the evolved version of Kehlani, right? Because you said you've changed.
She's 6. I don't know.
Because there got to be a difference between 3 and 6 and 4 and 6. Be like, man, mommy's cooler now. You know, mommy.
I mean, I've been her mom the whole time. I've just been my daughter's mom the whole time. How everyone else gets to see me is never going to be how she sees me because I'm just her mommy. I always have been. I always will be. I don't fall apart in front of her. I don't put her in any adult situation. She doesn't have a clue if anything is going on with me. I've just been her happy mom this whole time, and I take pride in that.
I saw the interview that you guys did, you and your daughter.
Yeah.
And she, first of all, she's adorable.
Thank you.
But I know that there's always like a protection with like artists and stars to put their kids out there. And it was a cute, non-adult environment. But like, what made you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'll let her start doing things like this? Because she's watching mommy perform.
She wants to.
Stuff like that. Okay.
She wants to. She loves it. But then she gets there and they turn the camera on and then she's silent because she's scared. And then the camera's off and she's like, that was great. But I think I will say this as actually a blanket statement for personal relationships in general, whether it's your family, your friends, your loved ones, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, and being a celebrity is we very unfortunately entered a very high surveillance society. Like it's become so high, like, and I'm so passionate about this because we're also a generation that is very anti-police, right? I'm super anti-police, but I'm watching us all kind of become police. Like we're filming the couple behind us having an argument, and next thing you know, their very private argument has become a TikTok story time, or somebody's taking screenshots of the first time they're even getting my number, and they're posting it on their story like, y'all got Kehlani's number, like. It's all of these. I walk into a restaurant with my partner or my daughter, and if I'm choosing to hide one of them, I got to worry about this at the
now
behind,
it's the camera for it. The camera glasses is this.
It's insane. So you kind of come to this point, right? As a person in front of a microscope, do I want to be anxious all the time, 24/7, and I experience fame paranoia. Where like if I'm hiding something or if I'm keeping something to myself, it gets angled as I'm hiding something or lying to the public. And so I'm doing regular things at the grocery store, leaving a date with my partner, things like that, and have to be shell-shocked because I'm worried that people are going to be surveilling me to have some kind of gotcha moment or some kind of I know more about them than you do or look what I discovered so I can get a moment off of this. And the whole time it's just my real life. So I think you can protect as much as you want to protect, and still that's not a guarantee that you're protected.
Has fame made you more cautious about who gets access to the real Kehlani?
Yes. I mean, from what I can control. From, who hangs out in my inner circle or who comes to my house, things like that. But we're also, again, because of this highly, surveilled kind of like audience state that we're in, is like, you're also in a constant state of having to prove yourself. Like, am I a good person? Am I a decent person? Do I make good decisions? Do I mess up sometimes? Have I made a bad decision? Have I been contradicting? Have I been a hypocrite? And those are all very human things, but I think we've been taught now all of a sudden that we have to constantly show ourselves deeply in order for people to not create other narratives. Like now controlling your narrative looks like almost bearing your soul just so people can believe that you're a decent person. So you really don't get room. The more mysterious you are, the more people. I've seen the craziest things about myself.
What's the craziest thing you've seen?
Oh, I've come into people's job and like smacked them. I
can see that.
Can you see it?
I can see you smacking shit.
No, yeah, not. I've never walked into nobody's job and smacked them.
I'm not saying you did it, but I can see you doing it.
I've just seen things. I've tried to date so and so's ex-girlfriend's little sister's brother, cousin, and did whatever with them at some random place in a place I've never been. Like. And people will believe it because it's typed on an app or said by someone on TikTok. And if I respond, then I'm too reactive. I need to be Beyonce and say F the internet. Why am I explaining myself? How dare I explain myself? But the things you see, it's not normal. It's not normal. But here we are. This is what we've become. So you just ride the wave, I guess.
You said you anti-police.
Yeah.
I'm anti-police misconduct. I'm anti-police brutality. I'm anti-police killing, unarmed black and brown people. But I'm not anti-police. If somebody break into my house, I'm calling 911.
Immediately he is.
But who's to guarantee that the police aren't going to come and kill you?
That is true. But what other option do we got?
Well, I think people who are anti-police are in favor of, at some point, some other kind of system coming along that isn't built on the values of the police, that is built on communal values and actual safety values. That's assuming that we can imagine up and conjure up a better world to facilitate something like that. And also, on a much larger scale, a lot of crime is happening because people's needs aren't met. If someone robs your house, it's probably because they were broke and they needed it. Imagine if those people had enough to survive and enough to thrive, they probably wouldn't need to rob your house.
But I still got to shoot them.
You know what? If that's, you know, protect your family.
Yeah.
I do believe in people protecting themselves. I'm not anti-protect yourself. I'm anti, there should not be an extension of the government that is able to do things like this with no consequence. They don't answer to anyone. They are gang members. That is a gang. And it goes even further with them being trained and tied into militaries of other places. I'm trying to talk as bluntly as possible as I can. But it's just a much larger, again, much more sinister thing where things are tied up into these larger pyramids and police are very close to the top.
Who does security at your shows? Because I can see this right now. Police refuse to do security at Kehlani shows.
I would actually love that. We actually tried. There was an initiative that No Name was, I think, if I'm wrong, was trying to start where a bunch of us were trying to sign on to remove police presence from our show. But only like 4 or 5 of us were down. So then we thought, like, if there's only 4 or 5 of us, actually these venues are just going to stop booking us.
Correct.
It's easier to just say no to 5 of us than it is to, you know, adhere to this for just 5 of us. It's just don't even book these 5 people. We get a million other shows a month at this same venue. So I think that's the preferred thing. I don't want police at my shows. I don't know if there really are police at my shows. I don't think so. Maybe if I do like a summer jam or like a, you know, a bigger thing where there's way more artists. But when it's just me, I have security. I got a Tongan standing outside right now.
I see him.
You know.
I see him. Big Samoan. Yeah, you going to catch hell with that one.
Yes, you are.
He's got me.
Yes, you are.
I wanted to go back to the microscope, you being on the microscope conversation that we were having.
Yeah.
One of the things that hit the microscope was the back and forth with your daughter's dad.
Yeah.
Where are you guys now? I know you guys were supposed to do like mediation and like you kind of figure things out internally. Like,
I have full custody.
Got you.
Full custody. Yeah.
Okay. And then is there contact with him?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Well, that answers that. I mean, because that was a situation that I think for one of the few times that we kind of saw you're in a mom light, but you also are then having to come and defend yourself so much because of things that were claimed.
Yeah, I sat silent for most of it.
You were silent for a while
quiet.
until there was like the claim, and he did backtrack a lot of the claims.
He backtracked
about, like, the
pretty
cult
much all of it.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
While that's happening and you're sitting silent, right, and you still have your baby here.
How difficult was that to sit silent?
Yeah, like you're sitting silent and you still have your baby.
Through the wars and you just...
Yeah. I mean, it's very real. You're in a court-related situation. So at the end of the day, you're listening to your lawyer. You're listening to... Ultimately, I was trying to protect my child. No mother wants to wake up, and I can bear anything attached to my name. It might hurt. I might throw a little bit of a fit about it, but I'm an adult. I can bear that. When you see your child's name attached to these things, your child's photo next to certain words and certain verbiage and certain things, that's a bit of a heartbreaker. And so I had to really, honestly, I probably learned the most about God through that situation because I was on my knees.
God, don't let me kill this motherfucker. God, don't let me wild the fuck up.
Don't let me walk into his job and slap him.
Beyond that, God protect me and God protect my child. Like really, God shield my child. God make it so that when she goes to school, there's no other parents that are going to bring this up. There is no children that are going to be told something scary and then have to act weird towards her. God, may this not follow her when she's older because I can bear it and I can deal with it because I've been through a lot. This actually was only treacherous because it was so public. I have been through many things that were way worse than this. And ultimately it was just think about your kid, think about your kid, think about your kid. That is it.
And how come when people be on their healing journey and, you know, we start meditating and, you know, going to therapy and charging our crystals under the super moon, why we got to be in a cult? Why all of a sudden they say we in a cult?
It's a tough situation. Ultimately, the claims were false. It wasn't true. He backtracked a lot. A lot was discovered. a lot came out in certain documents of whatever the court case, XYZ, and a lot of it just got refuted. And people who are very obsessed with disliking me and were waiting for a gotcha moment again and a moment to prove she's so fucking weird. We'll hold on to that forever, but that's not really my ministry to change their mind.
Yeah.
You know, those are very miserable. We have a lot of misery on this earth. Like, and that's for, you know, hopefully they find some healing and they find something that makes them happy, because ultimately doing that is not going to make anyone any happier. But maybe in the moment.
Do you, probably not now, like the conversation you had with your daughter about all of this, at some point, you haven't had that yet, or have you?
I mean, I had to explain to her why I was going to court and what visitation is and what that means and why we're not in communication and all those kind of things. And she was very understanding, and she's moved through it, and we've taken it day by day.
Yeah.
You switching gears, because that's heavy.
It is.
You said Brandy was on your Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Who else?
Stevie Wonder is the head of the Mount Rushmore. Whatever.
Is this vocals or just artists in general?
I think artistry.
Okay.
And it's for everybody, or you said every artist or every singer should have this Mount Rushmore?
I think every singer should have different kinds of Mount Rushmores. Like I said, she should be on the vocal Mount Rushmore, but also artistry, like in general. But she should be on everyone's vocal Mount Rushmore.
100%.
Who else? I want to know your vocal.
My vocal Mount Rushmore? Okay. Brandy. Beyonce.
Can't put them next to each other. I'm just joking.
You know,
keep going. Just keep
take
going.
Ray J's phone.
I couldn't let that go. I'm sorry.
Let them have a beautiful tour. They're having a beautiful tour. Please let them.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Please. Beyonce. Whitney Houston, obviously.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the one I wanted to make sure was on.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a lineage, right?
Yes.
There's no Brandy without Whitney
Exactly.
Houston.
I'm stopping with you, Kehlani.
Yeah. What did you think? I didn't think that.
I just wanted to know. Sometimes you're 30 years
That's
old.
why you asked me.
Sometimes you're 30 years old.
No. I love
always
music.
trying to like teach you without.
Just
Right, you see how you trying to get a gotcha moment?
No,
Right.
got you.
Bringing it back.
He was
I'm
trying
making
to.
sure.
He was trying to. It's like an OG pull up, but it can feel like. Stop
But I
playing
didn't
me.
assume. That's why I asked. And I'm
No.
like, okay, just as long as
She can't
okay.
talk. The other day we had Christopher Williams up here, and I was like,
She thought it was a comedian.
She thought it was a comedian.
No, because we had a comedian on the
No.
schedule, and we had a
Christopher
singer on the
was a comedian.
schedule, and I didn't know the names. I just knew comedian and singer.
Right.
And then he asked me, and I said, "Is that the one that's the comedian?" And then I
That is
said,
not
"Oh, that
true.
must that
That
is." And I
not
said,
true.
"Oh, it's the
And
R&B
he said-
singer."
He said, "You know who Christopher Williams is?" She goes, "Oh yeah, the comedian."
No, I said,
That's
Oh, you
exactly
said it
what
out your
happened.
mouth.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so they got you.
I said,
Yes.
"Is that the comedian?" Then he said, "No, see, she doesn't know." I said, "Oh, so that's the R&B singer." Did that not happen?
Who's your last one? Brandy, Beyonce, Whitney.
I'm gonna say Mariah.
Gotta be right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What? We're talking about like freaky level, like channel talent of like, okay, well, when will anybody be able to ever do that again?
No.
Type people, you know. So I think that's the point.
Well, if you want to see,
But you know what else?
Go ahead.
Who else?
Aretha
Kiki
Franklin?
Wyatt.
Oh, Kiki Wyatt.
Kiki Wyatt,
Ooh.
yeah.
Singers.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they all went to church. That's what it is, really. So
And then you got your Patti LaBelle's and your Aretha
exactly.
Franklins and all- Yeah.
We could go on forever, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to see Kehlani, she's going to be performing at our Jingle Ball in Miami and our Jingle Ball in Atlanta. All right, so get
You
your
gonna do
tickets.
Out the window too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get into the single right now.
Okay.
Let's get into the single right now. And we appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you. We always get real deep in here.
At one time, Kehlani didn't want to come up here. She's like, I ain't fucking with the Breakfast
With
Club.
the
I was
What do
scared of you
She
guys.
was scared as a mother, but we got through it.
We were having different conversations then.
Yes.
We've
I
all-
was
we've
little.
all evolved.
Look at us, growth.
We've all
Growth,
evolved. and all
absolutely.
grown.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's get into the single right now. Here's Out the Window. It's Kehlani. I said it right?
Yes. Look
All
at
right.
you. Proud of you guys.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hold up. Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?